Hi guys, it's I guess day 3 now. Yay, day 3 being back on the vlog, and it's tea time. All right. So interesting day today. I was visiting my grandmother Julie and playing with the dogs, and I get a phone call from my mother, and she says to me, um, "Get to the hospital now. Grandpa had a stroke," and I'm just freaking the fuck out. And he was actually visiting my grandmother, who I also didn't know was in the hospital, because she had a massive foot infection. Like they're saying that she might have lost the foot and stuff, but it's not as bad as that. That she's on vancomycin. No, she's a, damn it. I forget what antibiotic line is she's on, but she has to be on IV antibiotics because I guess the infection was so bad that it needs to. She can't. They couldn't wait for the pills to start taking effect, which can take up to like 48 hours for the antibiotics to start working its way all the way through the system. So she's in there. He's visiting her, and then all of a sudden he's having trouble. Um, the nurse had just brought him coffee, and instead of pouring the cream into the coffee, he's drinking from the carton, and then he drops the carton, and then he's trying to pick the carton up, but his hand's not working, and then the coffee and milk starts pouring out of his mouth, and his mouth starts drooping, and he was trying to talk, but he couldn't speak. But he's doing okay. He had a mini stroke, which is a TIA, trans ischemic attack. There was a blockage, but the blockage resolved itself. So he's able to move, talk, walk, everything. And they're keeping him overnight for observation to see if it'll happen again, if they can give him clot blocker. They're both up on the same floor, but they're at opposite ends of the hospital. So I booked it out of there. It's a 45-minute drive from my grandmother's house to my house, and another 15-minute from my house to the hospital. I did it in 30 minutes. So I'm very lucky I didn't get pulled over because I would have been screwed. But I get there and find out my grandmother's already called my aunt, and my aunt is at the hospital. So my mother was unaware that my aunt was there. And she just really wanted somewhere to be there with Gramps while they were at the hospital. So that was interesting because my mother was taking my little sister to. She was in Orlando. They were actually on their way back from Orlando because my little sister had a hockey game. She's part of a traveling hockey team. Yeah, that was my day. I got to spend several hours in the hospital with my grandfather, and then I visited my grandmother and find out it's not a massive infection. It's just a very bad, what's the word? Cellulitis attack. Like, so it was all over her left foot, and it's swollen, but it's getting better. She's been in there for a day already. No one told me that. I only get called when it's life-threatening things. And they couldn't get a hold of my brother, Sean. He was at AWOL for a couple hours, and then eventually he showed back up. My brother Justin didn't come because he was at work. He's working at Ross, but he's trying to get a job as an EMT right now at a company because he just turned 21. Excuse me. And you have to be 21 to actually drive an ambulance. And he just got his EMT license. And then, yeah. So after a little while, everybody showed up, and I had to come home. But I'm sitting here relaxing with a nice cup of tea because that's the way my day has been going. And I think I'm going bald. My hairline's starting to see. That's not why I'm wearing the beanie. It's just really cold. But my hair is, like, you can kind of start seeing it right there. Oh. Yeah, my hair is, it's messy, but it's sticking up. So I'm gonna put the beanie back on. I might end up calling into work tomorrow just to go sit with my grandfather if he's still in the hospital. I mean, he can't go home. There's no one there. If another stroke happens while he's at home, he could die because there's no one there with him. So we're gonna have him start either staying here at my parents' place because there's always somebody home at my parents' place. There's not always somebody home at my aunt's place though. Which he probably won't get put in my house because I'm not always home. I'm gone for 14 hours a day, like to work, then not home. Because I live an hour from work. Because I'm smart like that. I bought a house way too far from work. I used to live like 5 minutes from where I work, and I would just get in my car, quick zip home,